It was a race against time this morning. I had a delivery coming, but I completely forgot that I was going to need to pop out for a short amount of time for an appointment. And my parcel box is no longer on the wall because that's where the water butt is now. I recently decided that I'm actually going to change the guttering so that it goes round the corner and that it goes into the water butt in a more logical way. That way I could still put the parcel box on the wall, but I don't quite know where it's going to go. So I kind of have to guess a little bit. Whatever happens, this is going to need to be removed. Obviously, in one of my last videos, I glued this together. Looks like this particular piece didn't glue together well. I'm going to move the water butt back a little bit and just have a guess as to where this parcel box needs to go. I've got just 20 minutes before I need to leave for my appointment, so this is going to be a very, very quick DIY. Or so I thought. This was me trying to move the water butt. The thing is, it's almost completely full now, having collected loads of rainwater. So this was never going to work, was it? So I had to give up, leave for my appointment, and just hope that it didn't arrive. After my appointment, I popped up for some food and also made some content to share on Instagram and Facebook with my Buy Me a Coffee crew. It was too hot and I burnt my mouth. I recently became a bit obsessed with this fence. The people in this house rebuilt this wall that had been leaning for a long time, and on Instagram I was appreciating how well it had been built. It's now finished, so I was just showing people an update on that. And then I made even more content on my way home. As I've mentioned before, I try and create videos whenever the inspiration comes to me because it's in that moment that I find it funny and I'm going to be able to make the best of it. This video was very popular. I'm totally pooped after having a super busy week last week. So I'm just like leaning into my chair even more. I've got the biggest to-do list in the world because I was away so much last week. Lots to catch up on and don't currently feel like doing anything of it. And so I'm just sat here working out what I might do next. I think it's about 5 o'clock. Oh no, it's 6:30. I've been scrolling for a long time. This is my kit that has arrived. It actually has a whole bunch of useful stuff in there, so it's a good all-in-one, this kit actually. Some tape, some floor covering, brushes. That's actually why I picked it up, because I'm doing some brushing and some rolling in my bedroom soon. This is coving. I've actually not used this before, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of research, a little bit of Googling on how that's installed. I've got a good idea on how it goes up, but I want to make sure the way that I've assumed it's done is actually a sensible way, the most efficient way, and then I'll be doing that. So I will be learning with you for this one. And of course, every DIYer needs a 2.5 meter long piece of MDF in their kitchen so that they can't reach any of their things. It's just part of the DIY life, I'm afraid. It is so sunny today. I am gonna put out so much washing. Oh, have I been recording that whole time? I was just getting my washing ready. It's really not video worthy. Such is the way with DIY that as soon as I entered the garden, I saw a whole bunch of jobs that needed doing. I also have to deal with this every time I come in the garden. All of this begging for food. I do feed them. In fact, if you overfeed them, it can be really bad for them. They're making me look bad. Everything in my greenhouse is overgrown and needs to be planted out. I'm really far behind. Not only that, I need to trim the grass. Now, I actually don't mind long grass. In fact, I prefer it because then I can lie in it when the sun's out. Unfortunately, I live near quite a few cats. And whenever the grass gets a little bit longer, they poop in it. So regrettably, I'm not able to keep my grass long because of the cats. I'm going to use this first cut opportunity to, first of all, pick all my bluebells. They're almost keeling over, so I'm going to get the last few days out of them inside. And I also want to add some grass seed, which is much better done now before it gets into the swing of the summer, where it would burn the seeds. I planted these bulbs out last year, so this is actually kind of an experiment to see if I like where they're located and if they grow. I've realised that I will kind of always need to pick them just before the season's over so that I can cut the grass. Look how many I got. They smell epic, by the way. So here's the state of my grass. It is really long. It's full of different bits of debris. So I'm going to need to go and kind of just get rid of some, like this metal peg. That's going to end up catching in the strimmer and causing it to break. And when I say break, what I mean is that it will snap the... I always want to call it the plastic sausage, but that's not what it's called. Okay, I just googled it. Apparently it's called a mowing line. I prefer plastic sausages, but okay. So you might be asking yourself now, did she say strimmer? Yes, I only have a strimmer, no mower, because to be honest, my garden is so small, it's not worth the hassle of having to store a mower to do just a couple of lines up and down. I can do it with the strimmer in like 10 minutes. I was walking in to plug this in and then I noticed these carrots I need to thin out. There's so much to do. Oh no, how did I end up on the sofa again? Whoopsie. I've just ordered some food and that gives me 25 minutes to mow the lawn. So I better get a move on. I spent a bit of time debating whether or not I wanted to cut off the leaves of the bluebells. I'd usually let them keel over. This was when I caught the line on one of the ground pegs and had to fuss around pulling out more of the line. And I recommend unplugging it before you mess with the line. Back to the bluebells. I don't think the bulbs like it if you cut off the leaves before they're finished. I don't know if that's a fact that I've made up or it's real. But anyway, I decided to be able to keep the garden tidy. I wanted to trim all of the leaves as well. But like I said, this is an experiment, so perhaps next year, if they're not looking too great, then maybe I'll not cut them off next year. Once I'd mowed the lawn with the strimmer, I wrapped it back up and stuck it in the shed and felt really guilty about all the plants that were really dry in the greenhouse and decided to rescue them with a little bit of water. Now, this is obviously a slight distraction from my mission of trimming the grass, but I still felt that I was doing pretty well for time. That didn't quite go to plan. They said they'd be 25 minutes, but they took 17, so as I walked upstairs with my beautiful bunch of flowers, they were already at the door. I was like, have you been waiting here long? He was like, no, it's okay, which means yes. He meant yes. Guess who sat down again? I'm tired, so I'm sat down, so it's okay, I'm just resting. But I have 2 days to finish a complete remodel of this bedroom. That's why I'm fretting about sitting down. But instead of getting that stuff ready right now, what I'm going to do instead is just potter around and tidy up, because as we all know, you need a nice clean space if you're going to be DIYing. So this is something I'd have to do tomorrow anyway, so I'm just getting it ready. But I was just sat here pissing myself laughing, remembering something that happened to me years and years ago. I used to work in a museum when I was about 21, and lots of people would come to this museum with their kids to come and see the dinosaurs. Kids are excited by dinosaurs. And so they would take them around, show them all the fossils, show them like the really big dinosaur right at the front when you walk in. And so this woman came up to me, recognizing me as a staff member, and she said, I thought you might tell little Timmy here, are these real dinosaurs? And so, I was like mentally winking, I've got you, parent, let's make this fun. I was like, yes, these are lovely real dinosaurs. And he burst into tears, and she was like, no, he's terrified of dinosaurs. Why did you bring him here? Why did you bring him here? And not, like, how was I supposed to guess that that was the code? You didn't tell me that that's what you wanted. I made a child cry. I've tried to sort of like stagger them in a pretty way, and I'm going to cut off the stems up to the lower stem so that they all sit correctly in the vase. Is there a spider on me? Oh, it's a little bug. Oh no, is it a spider? Well, it can go into my plants. Bye. I actually have this super cute, very small vase that I bought from Amsterdam the last time I went. You can see all these really cute houses on the bottom. I wish I could let you smell these through the phone. They smell gorgeous. If you enjoyed watching this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe.